Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 Nubia here on the Lord Master channel. And as you can see, the map has expanded quite a bit for Mercuria. No, I should say the borders of Mercuria have expanded, as we are one kingdom now, even though I still hold the kingdom title of Nabadia, which is a titular created title, which I gotta have that destroyed one day. So that way there could be one kingdom, one empire. An empire is the next path that we will take. But that will take a while, because as you can see the amount of gold we have, well, there's not much now. Maybe the head of faith can give us money, unless I already asked for it. Why don't you ask the Pope? Yes, I requested gold in the past. And I cannot ask again until the next 5 years, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. There's gonna be some changes around here ever since we united the Nubian thrones. And there's also a slow, gradual process of Nubianization ongoing, which is actually one of the innovations, which you can get it in 22 years time, but I'm more focused on role prerogative, where in the short term, in 5 years time, get this, we'll have bailiffs in 12 years, unless I want to make it faster. I would love to have manorialism as well to unlock all early medieval era economic buildings, as we do have the means to build fortification buildings and military buildings to improve them. But the problem is you're going to have more levies and there's not going to be enough to maintain them. So that's why you got to have a strong economy to support a strong military. So get parole prerogative first, and then we're actually going to go back to late antiquity and get 2 more innovations that I care about. Caravanserai for different culture opinion, a little bit more holding taxes up for everything. And of course, development, which you can get that in 4 years time or so. Same thing for monsoon trade routes, since we've been doing more of that. Let's say trade, since we do have access to it. The cool thing about that is it cooled down for the decision to contact these Indian Ocean pirates, reduced from 5 to 4 years, and makes sea travel less dangerous. It would be nice to have this also. But for now, royal prerogative is going to be the way. As I already have high crown, absolute crown authority, bypassing high, thanks to recent decisions. Also, look at this. Huh. And since I have absolute crown authority, that means I can change laws to whatever I want, since everything's in the middle now. And I know what I'm going to do first. Give more rights to women. Yes, it hurts the fertility a little, but it increases development a bit, but more importantly, cultural fascination progress up, as I want to get those innovations a little bit faster. So we will pass this, which women are granted some autonomy, such as the ability to own and inherit property in specific circumstances and engage in trade independently. The law protects women from violence and abuse. While men still hold authority in the family, women are free to conduct certain affairs without male oversight. They may appear in public unaccompanied in certain areas or for specific purposes, such as business or religious activities, though they remain subject to the expectations of male guardianship in broader social contexts. I mean, after all, historically, Nubian culture, at least in ancient and medieval Nubia, women had more, autonomy, similar to the ancient Egyptians. But we can't go all the way to protected autonomy. You gotta have the eccentric trait for that. And you can't pass none at all because you get a 1-year cooldown. So remember, on the next year, on the 19th of October, the next thing I want to pass is, let me see. Aha! Urban planning. This one. For title creation costs. Reduce the cost to create the Nubian Empire. A new Nubian Empire. Or probably be known, since it's a Greek influence, the Neo-Nubian Empire. And plus, it makes buildings built cheaper. Even though it does hurt the prestige and renown gain, which I'm not too terribly worried about them. But the cheaper the costs to build buildings, because yeah, it says building construction costs. What about holding cost reduction? Is there a way to look for that? Because since I do have a little bit over the domain limit, I want to build some temples in my free time. Aha! Slavery. You can't go all the way for encouraged slavery. You gotta have the callous trait. So it's that one that has the holding construction cost to be reduced. Because this is what I want to do in my free time, once we have greater income after forming an empire, is look at the domain. There's room to build more churches, temple holdings. And this is how much it costs, typically. 640 gold. That's unacceptable. I would like to have that reduced. And there are ways to reduce that. And this is kind of odd for a man like Lazarus, the Lord of Two Dominions. For a man who is humble, calm, and chaste. That he would... I mean, it does make sense for him to, you know, give women more rights, given that he's a chaste man. But at the same time, the idea of saying, okay, slavery is now permitted because we want to have we want to have cheaper buildings. And then at the same time, the urban planning, let's make it loose. And maybe unrestricted. Just build, build, build. And that's going to be our, that's going to be our thing here. As the King of Mercuria, future Emperor of Nubia. Basileus of Nubia. Where, say, we just want buildings built cheaper and built faster, maybe. I'm just looking at the other laws. Okay. Again, we gave conditional autonomy to the women. Next year, we're permitting slavery. And then after that year, loose guidelines for urban planning. My word is law now. And of course, in the meantime, keep your eye on your vassals. They may all like you, but I think it would be best for you to switch over from foreign affairs and go for domestic affairs to keep everybody in line. Especially with the popular opinion due to the recent offensive wars, let it go down. We're not doing any more war at this time. Let's start saving up some money, but I'll be willing to go on an inspection to Astaboras, as that one has a much lower control than Naka. Get it? Got it? Good. Of course, there are those who wish to install factions in high trade power. All right. But remember, if you want to inspect, remember how much this is going to cost if you're going to get significant funding. That much. There. that much. So, gotta wait for that. Not going to the coronation ceremony down there. Oh, wait a minute, we got that already. Nubianization. A new age of prosperity is upon us. Mercuria has emerged from the Dark Ages as a shining beacon of art and philosophy. Our cities are growing to teeming centers of commerce, raising wondrous new cathedrals to rival the ancient monuments of the Empire of Kush, drawing painters, bards, and philosophers of all sorts. Under the enlightened patronage of my dynasty, the Nubian people will become an envy of all of Africa. So, for those of you who did not watch the previous episode, near the end of that episode, I did do the major decision of engaging in Nubianization. I thought it was going to be a gradual process that will take some years until you discovered an innovation, but nope, we're doing it right now. We're doing it right here. Because I'm the one who enacted it. This is a new kingdom, and this is a new Nubia. Let me see. Cheaper building construction costs of places of Dongola, Pakoras, Sava, and Sena. And Nubianization will also provide an opportunity to declare a new Nubian Orthodoxy. I mean, after all, I want to be the one to build churches. But this is going to be a different kind of church. So now it is time to discuss a new Nubian Orthodox Church. As I said, this is a new Nubia. Lazarus at 49 will make changes. As I said, my word is law with absolute crown authority. In this time of renewed vigor of indigenous culture and traditions, it seems appropriate to discuss the possibility of establishing a Nubian Orthodox Church. Since the conversion of our forefathers to Christ in the 6th century, Nubia has looked to the Coptic Patriarch of Alexandria as our spiritual father. But the Muslim occupation of Egypt since the 7th century has greatly diminished the Alexandrian Patriarch's power and influence. I shall instruct my Archiepiscopos to call a synod to all episcopals in Cosmopolitan to debate the matter. Exciting times. We'll hear back from them in a moment. The time has come for me to depart on my adventure, my king. My friend Menakoda bows as well as he can while weighed down by heavy bags. Before I leave, please tell me, is there anything specific you want me to keep an eye peeled for during my journey? 1 second. What are we missing in the court? What am I missing? Book. Furniture. Throne. I want a trinket made from material you cannot find here. We'll have to get furniture later on. You'll get your position. The Synod of Cosmopolitan. All the realms of the Episcopals have now convened in the capital for a synod to discuss my desire to establish an independent Nubian church. After a spirited debate lasting into the early hours of the morning, the majority consensus was finally reached. A new national church shall be appointed in Cosmopolitan. All that remains is to elect a new head of church from amongst the esteemed abbas of the realm. God bless the Nubian Orthodox Church. So, I will convert to Nubian Orthodoxy. I will gain a nickname, the New Constantine. The counties in my realm might convert to Nubian Orthodoxy, and those vassals or whoever else, family and the like, will convert to this new church. So they calls me the New Constantine. This is the new Rome priest. Yes. Who is Sinful. And also homosexual, amusingly enough. Also, we lost the patronage of the Holy Church, that's for the Coptic faith. So, we are Nubian culture, and we are Nubian Orthodox. So, this is who we are now. Founded in the 6th century, following the Byzantine-sponsored mission led by John of Ephesus, the Nubian Orthodox churches grew rapidly with the support of the Nubian ruling elites, and was united under Chalcedonian Christianity by the 8th century. Though initially Coptic in orientation and loyal to the Coptic Patriarch of Alexandria, with centuries of Muslim rule in Egypt and the influence and power of the Coptic Patriarch waned, in the 11th century, right on time, we're in that century, led by the Archbishop of Dongola, the head of the Nubian Orthodox Church, a process of Nubianization of the church took place, with Old Nubian replacing Greek and Coptic in liturgy and religious texts, and only nominal recognition was being given to Alexandria by what is now effectively a national church. So as you could see, Nubian Orthodox Church replaced Coptic. Like, did it all the way replace Coptic? Somewhat. But however, we're both pluralists, so Copts view Nubian Orthodoxy peoples as astray, but they're pluralists. And so are we. We view Copts the same way. So there is no tension between us. Same's to be said for those over there. I mean, there's still going to be Coptic Christians around, but we still view them as brothers, as we're pluralists. Anyways, compared to Coptic, which again the tenets are Alexandrian Copticism, communal identity, and monasticism. For Nubian Orthodoxy, we have monasticism, legalism, which reduces law costs for each virtue a ruler has, and increases law costs for each sin a ruler has. Vassals and counties are less likely to join factions against a virtuous ruler, like myself. Vassals and counties are more likely to join factions against a sinful ruler. Electors under elected successor types are more likely to vote for a choice of their liege if their liege is just, and this makes just a virtue and arbitrary a sin. Which I believe that is, well, it's not the same over here. But also we have ritual hospitality. Rulers can host other characters as an honored guest, spending piety in exchange for increased opinion. So it makes generous a virtue and callous a sin. But as I said, we're both pluralists. We both believe in ecumenism. And like the Copts, main difference is, well, close kin taboo. So marriage between any extended family members and or close family members is forbidden. Sexual relations between any extended family members and or close members will give secret incense. Here in Nubian Orthodoxy, marriage between cousins is allowed. Sexual relations between cousins will not give the incest secret. So cousins may be related, but distantly enough that it's acceptable for them to marry in order to preserve their lineage. That's a bit odd. While the only change of kind doctrine is witchcraft is viewed as criminal under Coptic, but for Nubian Orthodox, witchcraft is shunned, not criminal. So they're only shunned. The divine have the rightful jurisdiction over the supernatural forces in the world. So any attempt to coerce those forces into obeying a mortal's will is inherently misguided, at best. And there is a difference. In Coptic Christianity, clerical appointment is spiritual for life, which means Head of faith or clergy appoints all realm priests or court chaplains. The realm priest or court chaplain have a seat for life. But under Nubian Orthodoxy, now, head of faith or clergy appoints all realm priests or court chaplains. Realm priest or court chaplain can be fired and replaced by a new appointee. Well, I know a guy. So while the clergy should appoint all bishops, secular rulers should be able to still fire for those who fail them. Yeah, we do have a sinner here, but he hasn't done anything wrong yet. That gives me an excuse to fire him. Also, in Coptic religion, clerical marriage is disallowed, but in Nubian Orthodox, they're allowed. Marriage is a holy institution, and priests should be able to take part just like any other faithful adherent. So, we still have the teachers of Jesus and the Coptic faith, but too bad we will lose the benefit of having these tattoos. But because that's just how it's gonna be. But anyways, let's continue. Hey. Trade, huh? So, I get 93 gold. It's from the neighbor over there. Avanfara, which has nearly united all of Darfur, which is a turbulent region that Nubia has fought for centuries, and we decided to leave them alone. Yeah, we'll trade with them. So 93 payment gives me additional gold. Gold that will need to go on inspection. And yes, these places are Nubian Orthodox. Today, a number of learned people from the local Indian community paid me a visit in order to give my court an interesting lecture on some of their traditional beliefs, principles, customs, literature, and history. Across the Silk Road, the exchange of ideas and cultures is nothing new, after all. Though much of the information went over my head, I did learn some interesting things, and I hope this experience can help me further connect with those with ancestry from South Asia. So minor inspiration for the Silk Road civilization, a little bit up on the monthly lifestyle experience. Ransom. Oh, is it time already? Yes, it is time. Just go on and inspect to improve the county. Basil, go on a trip with me. You are son and heir, and you seem to be one of intrigue. But we shall see about that. Let's head to it. As we walked through Courtiers Road, we were caught up in a crowd of people waiting for a large cart full of building materials to move out of the way. I don't need your stuff. I already got it cheaper somewhere else. One man shouted another. The other looks crestfallen and confused. What am I supposed to do with all these then? He responds weakly, more to himself than anyone else. I believe the holding it for him already has. Yes, we still have those extra building materials that's yet to be used. Well, we can use it to build a keep. So I'll say, bring your wares to fit in. Make amends. As I walk through the church of Al-Hajj, I overhear a group of travelers talking quietly with one another. One of them, a man, starts describing comparing the church with his on the journey of Pakoros. I can't help but listen on the conversation. He continues going into detail about the fantastic things he saw in Pakoros. Looking around, I can only imagine how much better it must be than the native side I see here. Well, Parkour is now a pilgrimage site, if you wish to. I'll say what an interesting tale. I live near there. While passing through the drylands of Berber, my courtier Samira steps perilously close to a concealed pit trap with his grab just timed by my sister Sophia. Samira, you need to be more careful, Sophia admonishes, concerned with her voice. Samira offers a sheepish, grateful smile in return. Thanks, I owe you one. Quick thinking there. Hey, help with the control. Here we are. While at the market of Basil's attention was caught by the criminal chained in the pillory. Basil watched him for a while, and when he did nothing but cough and beg for one, rolled his eyes and kept on walking. Fickle, arrogant, callous. Well, honestly, it does sound like him a bit. Also, a criminal deserves nothing but disdain from you. Plus, he's a man of intrigue education. As I arrive in Astaboras, I'm brought to the study. A group of servants tend to all my needs and fuss around me for a while, so I asked them to leave. I meant to focus on my task at hand if they keep running around the room. With them out of the way, I can finally start working on my plans, which is to, well, improve the bureaucracy here, of course. Friendly nobles. Signs of bad harvest. It's not safe at all, my lord. Haggard look at Trout tells me. Barely survived my life, I did. True to his word, it sounds like he's been through quite an experience. People seen him all over, traveled to here to see the gold mine, only to be intercepted by criminals. If we allowed bandits and footpads to continue preying on visitors, it's only a matter of time until they start looking elsewhere. I'll recruit a small patrol to protect the travelers. God, look at the income above, 30 gold a month. And it's going to get even better with time. $58 gold. After thoroughly scrutinizing all the documents I could find, I've managed to rustle out some extra budget I can reallocate to alleviate some of the local infrastructure issues troubling the county. All I needed to figure out which section of bureaucracies and most needed extra aid. The local garrison's been struggling as of late. Ooh, big jump. Oh yeah. Almost but guaranteed. Oh dear. Lost big money. Unexpected regulatory challenges pose hurdles for the merchant caravans. The merchants are engaging with local authorities to address regulatory issues to ensure smoother trade operations. Damn. County level keeps on going up. Rest about us. Well met, Liege. I foretell the patronage of Tarico the Armorer. He says making armor worthy of a king. Please take us to give us them. We want to miss this chance to aid the creation of a masterpiece. Why does some of us have more money to know what to do with? How generous. Meanwhile, I find myself yet again in conversation with some of the locals about how I should prioritize the restructuring of Astaboras. Move and rebuild the old town walls, my liege. Captain Rafayana of the local garrison says with a wink. Think of how much more space if we would have for a new residential district. No, the old merchant district is in dire need of a touch-up. Oh, yo. Represent the local guilds, cuts the conversations. Imagine how much lively the town will be with an active merchant district. Let's focus on the old crumbling walls here. %. 92%. It looked impossible at first how someone managed to find a way to start putting things right, and I suppose. Fighting some of the local corruption and bandits, though it's only a first step in the right direction, it is crucial for the county's future. Now we just need to ensure they're on the right path for the foreseeable future. As planned. Boom. 58. And it'll be under full control in 10 months' time. Need to push on. I can take the hint. More trade. Hey, you'll get it. If you want, you could create a new holy order. Courtiers. Leave him alone. Please, I'm trying to do this here. You got it. Alright. We have our own version of the Order of St. Anthony, who is still revered in our new church. So we have Order Knights once again. So it's a wonder that Courtiers Road is the headquarters of the Knights of the First Gospel, a Coptic holy order, and Courtiers City is the headquarters of the Order of St. Anthony, Nubian Orthodox version. Yeah. Very interesting. Anyways. We'll accept, but person's imprisoned. Sorry about that. In the days of yore, Christianity first came to Nubia through the northern kingdom of Nubia, centered around Pacoros. The great cathedral of Pacoros was built shortly after as the center of the Christian church in the region. Thus, its bishops have earned a high level of prestige and respect since then. The walls of the Cathedral of Pacoros have meticulously recorded the names of each bishop who dwelled there. Many of the faithful have come to the cathedral to do so to gaze upon this great list and worshipping before the paintings like the ancient bishops depicted by the list. Recently, the great Countess Jimena has dedicated some funds to not only restore the list of its previous quality, but also to update the list with newer information and artistic depictions of various bishops. Her deed reflects well on the religious devotion and importance of the cathedral. She's been around for a long time, but her time is rather short. Infirm and melancholic. Strong one. So thank you for updating the list of bishops, and you will have that. You will be remembered. Yes. Pay the ransom. Wants to go to Europe. Legendary. Yes. Invest in that. What in the world has happened to my son Christophorus? He's all bruised and refuses to name who did this to him. Was it an older child? Did he pester a noble to the point of fury? Now that I stopped, all but stopped talking, constantly hides away when there's people nearby. Poor boy. Okay, hang on one moment. I'm trying to remember my children. You are one for intrigue. Theodoros, who's also quick-minded like him. He's also into intrigue. Christophoros, you're the genius and considered breadwinner to me. I will take great care of my ward. I may designate him as heir in the future. I'll say, dear boy, you don't have to talk to anyone if you don't want to. Remember, October, change another law. My liege, the adventurer Manacota sends word, somebody exclaims, holding a letter. For 10 days and nights, me and my party's been hiding. The bandit Lord Abu Bakr set a blockade on the road we must travel. What do you advise? Caution, or shall we fight him? Trusting God to keep us safe. Signed Manacota, parchment reads. He seems in quite a predicament. Keep laying low. They'll move on eventually. Manage to steal away tonight. Good on you. Today I'm doing an inspection of some of my territories along the Nile Valley. Specifically, I'm traveling to see some of the rural countryside. Agriculture, after all, has been a major part of life along the Nile for centuries, if not millennia. It's important that I ensure these farms will be able to produce an adequate supply of food. Anyways, I spent several hours talking with farmers and local officials about how the local irrigation networks are doing. We need to make sure these are always in good shape, that we may fully take advantage of the annual Nile flood. A tedious but necessary bit of work. Time has come for you to depart on my adventure, my king. My knight gorillas as well as we can while weighed down by heavy bags. Before I leave, please tell me, is there anything specific you want me to keep on my journey? I want to possess something truly unique. Since you're going to Europe, you better get something damn good. No longer my seneschal. In a moment, I'll replace another. Just looking something up. Okay. I remember my next step. We're going to build some churches. But we got to lower the cost to build one of these. And remember. Well, but first, my lord, my beneficiary Tariku waved me over a wide grin, gesturing over the covered armor stand. I've toiled over the forge for many days and nights, but my work's finally done. With flourish, he grips the fabric covered away, and my eyes grow wide. The armor is constructed from iron plates that are masterfully bound together with cords of silk cloth, while the trim and lining are cut from fine lamb's wool. The set includes a nasal helmet and male cuff, padded with lamb's wool. The whole armor has been painted with a thick layer of gold. Magnificent! The model side family, Defy Not the Lion, is elegantly scripted on one side. Plus 5 prowess, a bit more prestige, and less friendly fatal casualties. Minus 9%. Damn good armor. That'll keep my prowess high in my old age. Kind of makes me want to hunt. But money is going elsewhere for other projects. I receive a missive from my adventurer who's been in the crisp lands of the Tiger Force. I spent some while surrounded by our finest company of journeymen escort, a colony of beavers. With this courier I could send you a book of sketches of the structures they use to catch fish in the waters. Oh, to be a semi-aquatic rodent. That might be useful. It's an inventory artifact for a trinket, not a journal. Good work. I shall send funds to extend your travels. When I'm in a building mood, will be very useful. Halt! It's time to change laws. Because I am the lawmaker and giver. I mean, I've already gave conditional time to the women. But now under slave regulation, it'll be permitted. Slavery is legal, with both domestic and foreign slaves utilized across the realm. Slaves contribute to households, agriculture, and various industries, providing a steady source of labor. The clergy may object, but the economy benefits greatly from this practice, so tyranny gain will go up if you do anything that's tyrannical related. There'll be a bit of natural dread. The peoples of different faiths will not like it, but building and holding construction costs, more importantly, is reduced. And there's going to be some issues of controlled growth. So now, to build a church around here, a temple holding, now it'll cost 520 gold. And it takes 9 months to get it done. Next year we'll go for loose guidelines of what we've been planning, and perhaps go all the way. This is just to ensure to create the title of Empire of Nubia will be cheaper. And in addition, high trade. Fabricate the claim on the county of Dongola. I want Dongola for myself, because we're going to have to move capitals to its proper place for the future empire. Yeah. More trade. Everybody wants to trade with Makuria. And I could start a legend, but that's the generic, holy site thing. I want something else than that. You can create a new head of faith. Recreate. Oh, it costs 50 gold. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Because it's been over a year since we found a new Nubian church. And we don't have a religious head. Well, get one! Okay, there we go! That's it! That was it! Only just appointed and made it happen. Oh dear. He's arbitrary, he's gluttonous, but content. But he'll make a tidy income from the Nubian Orthodox realms, although limited around here, as we're the only country that practices so. But one day, I'll make them see things my way. Like you. I'm gonna get rid of you one day. Hey, You're friends of mine. You should join the new faith. This is the faith of the future. You're already Nubian Orthodox. You're Nubian Orthodox. Nubian Orthodox. Nubian. You're still the old. Even though we consider him as a stray. You're stubborn. Temple buildings construction costs with these. Now that we hold Courtiers, this helps with development and a bit of learning. If he doesn't want it, then, well, we gotta start appeasing him. First, compliment. Wait 2 months. I'll give him the silk entertainers. Thought that the righteousness of our faith was never in doubt. The period of time we've been forced to endure without a spiritual leader has been trying. At long last, this ordeal is over. However, the clergy has convened to elect Pire as one true archiepiscopos. With the faithful finally unified under a single leader, it seems as if the new golden age for Nubian Orthodoxy is upon us. Glory to God! Yeah, the reason why we didn't have it's to give it an excuse. Why we didn't have a first place because we were still convening. And it says, okay, let's see. We'll have a think about it and all that. Blessed be God. Good. Same for Naka. Of March. Expedition. My liege, through concerted efforts, the merchants have successfully improved local cooperation in the explored territories. This collaboration ensures stability and support for ongoing and future trade ventures. So, invest in it 68 gold, and our house gets minor economic advantage for the next 30 years. +1 stewardship, domain taxes +5%. And +3 travel safety. Good! Good investment. Trade? Trade. 138 gold from Damant. Here is his gift of entertainers. Now, would you like to convert? Anything else? Host them as an honored guest. And that we did. How now, brown cow? Do it. Praise the Lord. Now we get the benefits of cheaper temple building construction costs. Not holding. There's a difference, you see. My lord, my friend, Minakuda announced arrival in a surprisingly loud voice. He proudly holds up a package circular. I returned from the journey to West Africa with an artifact from my journey. I take the bulky bundle in my hands and loosen the cords for peeling layer after layer of fabric. Inside is a goblin. I ask him where he got this. He tells me of a hair-raising dare he had with a stranger that ended with the opponent losing after drinking poison. A ceremonial goblet of masterful craftsmanship was made of silver with ruby inserts. Magnificent. How does that compare to the other goblets? It's the same damn thing. Well, one court grandeur better. Place is full of goblets. You want to go again? You want to go to Arabia? Continue to establish relations with them. They gave me benefits with these pirates. While strolling through the garden, I noticed an anthill just off the path. I consider calling a sword to remove it, but something compels me to kneel down for a closer look. What I see is nothing short of astonishing. A swarm of red ants, moving in perfect unison, launches a coordinated assault on the black ants, defending their nest. The reds advance like a well-oiled machine. Their numbers overwhelming, their strategy ruthless. The blacks, however, stand firm, their smallest soldiers forming a defensive line to absorb the brunt of the attack. It is a battle of strategy, strength, and survival, a microcosm of human warfare. From this vantage point, I can't help but marvel at the parallels. The ants fight with a ferocity and discipline that rivals any human army. Wonder who will emerge victorious. Team Black, I say, because this will give me the defender trait. As we're more on the defensive now that we've expanded Nubia's borders. Lord, my knights, Corillus announced his arrival's surprisingly loud voice. He proudly holds up a package securely wrapped in cloth. I returned from Europe with an artifact for my journey. I take the bulky bundle into my hands and loosen the cords for peeling layer after layer of fabric. Inside is a fabric unlike anything I've seen before. Corillus smiles proudly. A ring is said to be the very one worn by Angelica, known from the stories of Roland and Charlemagne. Its powers must have worn off, since it does not seem to bestow invisibility anymore, but is still a magnificent symbol of this long-gone princess. Wow. That is one heck of a ring. Indestructible. A ring that gives off invisibility. Prestige up, monthly renown up, attraction opinion plus 10. Initiating hostile games chance reduced, that kind of makes sense. Core grandeur bonus. That is magnificent. Angelica's ring. Although I don't know much about the real life tale itself, but put it here. Yes, I know it looks like generic jewelry, mess and all that. But let it be known, somewhere inside this jewelry is Angelica's ring. Yes. Thank you very much. So, according to my estimates, you get 1 temple, 1 city, and 2 temples, so that's 600 renown. 900, 1200 renown. And the next level, Dynasty Legacy. Oh, we're still quite a ways over there. But, hold on. Oh. I thought I was about to sneeze. Sneezed, excuse me. I mean, plus. I smell a smell. What's that smell? I say, pitching my nose. What a coincidence. A nearby stable boy bows to me respectfully before telling me confused him. There is no smell, my lord. Frustrated, I see Navigable in the next room. Invite him over. It does smell the owner here. Is there something with my nose? May I need some rest. I just sneezed. Laughing at the fact. Okay, it's not time yet for these. It's been a while since you've done some of these. So let's do it. Personal agenda. I'm fairly stressed and need some time to relax. And you did. Okay. For holding management. Let's see. Started with the monks in the nearest monastery. And you got it. Studying with monks. Lifestyle experience up. Culture fascination progress faster. Powerful vassals. Check them. Who is the one? Ah, you. You'll never accept me for who I am. You're always going to be that one guy. Now for Realm Directive, which is a big one. Okay, I'm going to want that. Improve realm infrastructure and overall productivity. You got it! Buildings are now cheaper than ever, and so is the holding construction costs. Now, to build a temple here, which we'll bid it right here. 360 gold over 9 months. But I don't want it to be 9 to 10 months. I want those churches to be built. I want them now. So now, they take, well, it's about as good as it can get. So, I guess we'll just leave it at that. It does affect holding construction time, but I think it's at the limit that it can give. Temples are to be built there on 2 sides of the Nile. So we got everything. Remember, my lifestyle is architect, and that's what I'm going to be. And I'll pass the next law this coming October. And that law is going to be one to reduce the reduce the title creation cost. Because to create the title of Empire of Nubia, look how much that costs. 1,200. That's almost unacceptable. You need to reduce that more. As my priority is to build more temples. My master hunt, so it brings word based upon him. I'm hearing much talk about Courtiers. Sisters, excellent prospects of hunting thereabouts, with many a worthy quail seen roaming the swamplands. Interesting. We want the knights to be at their best. The hole in my kinsman, that is, as deaf, let my heart remains. Clawed open each time I think of his foul killer, and the justice that remains reserved. Day after day, the cruel logic of revenge dominates my thinking. Fueled each night of fitful dreams, where I sit Mansur, and all house, racked by the same grief as my family endures. Master Edessa, who is cause. From the line of my great-grandfather Merke II. Nothing could bring him back. Plus, I'm a calm man. Calm and humble. So just accept it for the way it is. High trade, and I guess it's going to remain that way. Get ready. Mene, you will be missed. Died of old age at 61. People lived longer than that. And she was also my ex-physician. Samson, you're the man. Who are you? Bulgarian Orthodox. I think I must have met you during the travels. Now it's Silk Road Merchant. Organized the court so everybody could do their jobs better. One second. Okay. Yes, now flood may be very low. Pay me the gold. It does not affect how much cost does it take to build a temple. So we'll build one here. And then after when that's done, there'll be another one over there. And after that temple's constructed, build a city down there. City by the river. I mean, with the very low now flood, this hurts the economy. Not terribly worried. Ah, yes. Oh, bingo. Basil. Always a clever child. Proved time and time again over the course of his studies he had a natural affinity for careful planning and more than a little misdirection. Now it's hard to say, however. Everything that's tasked to him is done by others before he gets to it. And he never tells the petty lies the way he used to. Perhaps he's not as clever as he seemed after all. He's an exalted schemer. You'll make for an excellent spy master, for he has a scorpion-like demeanor, calculating and strategic, displaying a strong sense of ambition and self-preservation with the court. They possess sharp intellect and are skilled in manipulating situations to their advantage. The court interactions are marked by a guarded and ruthless nature. Now, Christophoros, what we know of him now, he's a multifaceted innovator. With high-born origins, the Kurds' ambition lies in mastering diverse, unconventional skills aligned with their personal preferences. Driven by insatiable curiosity, and constantly push the boundaries of knowledge, Yet they may struggle with mundane tasks and conventional expectations of rulership. Of course, I'll accept trade from anyone. You know, I have a free trade policy. I forgot to change another law, as it's a couple months off. So now, loose guidelines. Some basic rules govern urban development, but there's some significant freedom. Building structures are loosely organized, while certain areas follow general layout. Most of the city is left to individual interpretation. Towns and cities grow unevenly, with small pockets of order among the general disorder. So, this will reduce the monthly prestige and renown gain, but title creation will be 10% cheaper. And so is the construction cost of buildings. Not holdings, but buildings. Because we want to make preparations for, you know, for the future of, you know, realm construction. Especially whenever I get to build this here keep, which is very cheap now, but can we make it cheaper than before? Yes. Yes, we can. Save the next amount of money for one more temple up there. Then we'll build a city next there, and then there will be another temple over there. But first, let's do the usual business. Alright, since I'm economic intensive these days, give me the Middle Eastern community. And subsequently, bring in the merchant settlers here to further reduce the building construction cost. Now, how much does it cost to build a goddamn keep? It will not go any lower than that. It appears so. Oversee land sales. We know what that's like. We've seen this before. It's just a routine procedure. You got it. Where am I at the Lord of the Mountain trait? I mean, I got so many traits. Aha! There it is. Terminated sponsorship agreement. Okay. That means you could fund an expedition whenever you want to. Even though my money is now towards temple construction. Now it costs 1,000 to create the title of Nubia, but I will wait until another year till we pass another law to further reduce the cost to create the imperial title. I would like to spend the rest of my reign in peace, no fighting in wars. Just build, build, build. Build a better and stronger Nubia, both economically and militarily. Damn pirates! Oh, we're in debt now because of these oppressive policies spread and subsequent seafaring raiders. We'll have to do something about that in the future. as I patiently wait to fetch in my clothes. Service starts. Lord, no one can find your garments. I'm surrounded by incompetents, I mutter, storming from my chamber. It's in my son Christopher's room. I discovered not only the Marines, but also the boys' wedders. I had no part in my page, dressed himself. Little scoundrel. That reminds me. We're not at war, so turn that off. This is just a bad year, economically, that's all. We hope that next year will be better. What are you predicting? Normal flood? Perhaps. A grand wedding. And there's also a grand wedding over there. Well, I can't be there for either. I just want to stay here. And build, build, build. And in the long term, get Dongola. I would like to move my capital to over there. Because it's proper. It's too bad I can't hold the gold mine for myself. $18 months. Apparently, Maria is spitting my son Christopher's food at the dinner a few nights ago. Seems trying to tire Maria Isako by not reacting or bullying. No matter how many times Maria Isako calls him a rascal or slaps across the cheek. Just ignore her and she will grow bored. High Nile flood. Ah, better. Much better. I mean, it does cost money to do these trade policies. Apparently you could still do tattoos. East African culture. Ah, okay. Makes sense. Promising business deals. The work I've done building up relations with the local Middle East community have paid off. They recently agreed to partner with me on a number of advantageous business deals. Through their networks on the Silk Road, we'll surely together earn a great profit. Silk must flow, and spices, slaves too, horses, poultry goods are other. Significant Silk Road business deal for the next 10 years. Excellent! We're on the right track here. Every little bit increases. I know he doesn't have enough of it, but as I was prepared to go alone fishing on a small pond near my castle, The spy master appeared suddenly and told me I changed my schedule as there were cardinal rules regarding a possible murder being attempted against my life today. As things stand, Count Mirikota of Kalabsha has been monitoring the situation abroad, and there were indications for some time the secret mission I gave Ilias, my Archiepiscopos, caused a dangerous revenge from foreign parties. Unfortunately, it was not possible to catch the assassin to learn more about the whole scheme and who's been involved on our side. Magnificent job! Able to foil the action and may have well caused my demise. This chance to have depends on positivity or high. It's very high intrigue, spy master. That's what happened. Excellent. As the Order of St. Ethne grow, we need more land for which to organize the defense of the Nubian Orthodox faith. The Veld of Shulka is perfectly suited for our purpose. We wish to least service to our cause. Over there, home of the gold mine. Of course, you'll give me a lot, so your request is granted. For God. New church to be built here. And in future, build a city here. Prince. Gee, it's been a long time since we, last did that. Theodoros, you are an adept schemer. Not like your eldest brother. Here we go, trade! 81 gold. Not enough for a city, but we're getting there. A tight ship. It's between me and my seneschal. Since her appointment as seneschal, Stoyanka has been never benevolent presence, ensuring the smooth running of my corner household. As though all my good appointment I hear a voice behind me. Liege, I have found where many economies are to be made in this castle, though I wonder where you think the savings are most needful. She raises her ledger, inquisitive eyebrow. Both. Why compromise? Taskmaster's economies. So, that'll reduce the lodging amenity upkeep, even though it's not that much. But every little bit helps. Doesn't contribute to holding, but it's best to stay warlike for the time being. Arabia, Asia Minor. Considered a master by his peers. How much? 91. Stick around, man. We got a city to build. Sooner rather than later. "7 years. Don't we have someone better? Clearly. My physician. And you could do that again and again in any given time. So now it'll take 5 years. It's good to be Nubian Orthodox. High trade. Alright, we finally got royal prerogative. However, we will be reverting back a little towards late antiquity innovation. For 2 things. In 3 years, we'll have caravanserai. Increases the culture opinion a little bit, while holding taxes up a bit. And all that. We just want something to improve the economy for us Nubians. More inspiration from the Silk Road with their idea exchanges. Hey, build that city. And we'll build one more temple up there. And look at Dongola. When I have it for myself, more temples for me to build. No alliance here, but there you go. Very no Nile flood, unfortunately. Hey, jackass. You forgot to change another law again. Now, unrestricted sprawl. This realm has no regulations on urban planning. Buildings are constructed haphazardly with little thought to aesthetic cohesion or structure. Cities and towns grow organically, with streets and homes cramped together without regard to uniformity or public space. While this encourages rapid expansion, it leads to chaos and disorganization. I don't care. My word is law. That's the way it's going to be. Let me think. Just Maria. Do you now? Okay. Ransom. 50 gold. Trade. There we go. Get that city built. I want a temple to be built over there until it's finished. Temple built in Berber. Side dynasty is known far and wide. We are famous. Hell. Increases feudal taxes good to me. Well, thank you very much. He doesn't have money. Well, until you do. Ah, no wonder you've been at war against the Fatimids. In Nubia, one often finds similarly random mounds of red brick buried along somewhere in the Nile. Some might be the remains of old Nubian Orthodox churches, Coptic churches. For instance, even everyday structures built during the days of the Courtiers and Candaces. While such finds are usually isolated, several mounds of red brick were recently located in Astaboras, enough to be repurposed for many different buildings. However, there's always stories that these old mounds are home to all sorts of fearsome spirits from long ago who would be offended unless we disturbed them in their homes. Hope we can make good use of these bricks. Because, Lord knows, I would like to invest in each and every one of these buildings since they're all made cheaper now. Well, once I build one more temple here, then we'll get to work. Trade. Yeah, now we have a truce with them. I wasn't planning on expanding to them yet. You can create a royal army. So it's maintenance free, cannot replenish, is non-inheritable. Composed by mid-tier men-at-arms and levies, will immediately be assembled at the county capital. If you've got the prestige and the gold to support it. The generous and low, independent, military rights, and all that. Well, I believe our strength is good enough where we kind of don't need that right now. The reason why they keep proposing trade towards me is just they don't want me to you know, conquer their lands. Even though I'm not planning on it at the moment. Just one more temple, and then our next investment will be the Empire. Never back down. Even less Freddy Fiddle casualties. And then we'll have Household Guard and I'll change to something else. Well, it was good while it lasted. Build it. And your next investment is going to be for the Nubian Empire, which it now costs 800 gold. We'll get there. $53 gold from trade. Yes. I wonder what other laws I could change, since I've made a habit of that. Trade, 95 gold. Whatever you want, you're gonna get it. Oh, it's you again. Decided to trade with me again. You always want my crap. Let's hope for a good flood for next year. Hi now, flood. Yes. Grand wedding? I ain't going to no wedding. My place is in this country. Just need 800 more, 400 more gold. Oh, you finally won. You got your territory back, Egypt. Now get out of there, but start raising your funds. I caught these two hiding in a food store. Some very irate cook shouts at me, dragging my son Christopherus and Pensathea and oh, they stole a whole keg of mead. Christopherus just sat there as they drank so near oblivion, says England. Seems my ward protect his partner crime. Keeping him. Look how abstain for any drink himself. I believe someone needs a less than personal responsibility. You should be diligent. A genius, diligent man. That's what you're going to be, Christophorus. And I will soon name you heir. Designate you heir. Let's see, what else? I wouldn't increase taxes unless we were in a great debt crisis. That ain't gonna happen anytime soon. That's another thing I'm gonna do once I form the Empire. We're gonna start building buildings at cheaper prices too. Cheaper costs. Now, what's the other law I think about changing? Realm bureaucracy. Well, since I'm a chaste man, I do like, towards that path. So that I'll have a think about. Let's see. Maybe we should have an espionage network instead, since I'm a little uppity on what's been going on with the plots lately. So go ahead, pass espionage network law. Significant funds are allocated to intelligence operations, creating an expansive network of spies, informants, and secret agents. The Crown is well informed of both foreign threats and internal schemes, but the cost of such operations can be a heavy burden. Not terribly worried about Holy Order higher costs or times it takes to befriend or sway somebody. Better safe than sorry. Because there's been some scheming around here lately. I just prefer to go with things that doesn't hurt the popular opinion too much. Because I'm a bit wary. You got it. Trade. Keep it up. Trade with me will get you the materials you want, and then you can send me gold in return, and I will not conquer your lands. Not that I am interested in that. Not interested in land at the moment. Shadow of a Dub. Of course, this place is often suspected to bring diseases. To walk through it doves to be treated to a dreadful symphony of human suffering. Pestilence comes to consuming him. The skin infected is deep red and covered in lumps and bumps. Countless fresh scars covered his skin from endless itching, and those hopeless eyes are bloodshot red. Already people are calling this affliction Yemeni pox. Well, we know where it came from. At least half the peasant population have been affected, as well as maritime till it spreads among the nobility. Oh, it's a major one. And it only started 2 months ago. Damn. Spreading all over the Red Sea. And spread further inland. But since it reached here, I don't think it'll reach our capital. I don't believe it. But some of the physician, please. Lost. Poor child. The dim flickering light of Samson's infirmary illuminates the scene as the physician lays out a plan. Those afflicted by Yemeni's pox are riddled by scars and rashes like I've never seen before. This plague risks destabilizing the entire realm. Our people and crops will be decimated if we do not take radical action. Ultimately, the exact strategy for preventing the spread of this plague is mine to make. So this approach is best, because I do not believe it'll reach here. Not in Crusader. It would seem the modern approach has been successful. Of a slow spread of disease as does among the commoners, though the impact is quite minimal, it should at least grant more time to work on a more permanent solution. Wonderful. Nearly all the Red Sea coastline is affected by the Yemeni pox. I told you it will not come inland. This is a coastal disease. With Yemen gets the worst of it. Well, North Yemen, because this is South Yemen, you know. There's differences, you see. For those who know Yemeni history like I do, because I played in that region in Imperator Rome back then. I opened my eyes and I can immediately tell I've slept in. Light streams in from the window and bathes the room, warming me slightly while I hide under my blankets. I lazily look around the room and think to myself that perhaps rather than going to about the business of one of my domains, I could just stay in bed just for the day. After all, open realm will be just fine on its sword for the day, won't it? Right, it's time to get up. There we go. Pay the ransom. The deer of Kota. Bad air over it. Yemeni pox has devastated the people of it now. My Archiepiscopus Sam said for me that the local trade and produce is completely dried up, as people all in their homes and streets are waiting death's call. He blames the plague on the bad air and the surrounding dead and dying. He proposes a countering it with a vast field of astus. Do much to dispel this bad air and slow the spread of disease. For the sake of them, it's worth a try. Abundant flora for the popular opinion over there. But I am excited to create this Empire title soon, and then I'm going to start building buildings like the architect should. And then eventually, in a few years' time, get Dongola. Move my capital over here to make it proper. Because I'm so looking forward to live at the fortress of Dongola. The most fortified fortress in all the land. As I'm a religious icon now. Consecrate the blood. By showing sufficient devotion and a gathering in favor of the clergy, I can assure that my dynasty is forever enshrined as a holy bloodline under divine protection. So I'll gain a legitimizing legend seed. and will gain the trait of Paragon. I will gain no stress because I am humble, but I think I have every right to say so. After all, I'm the one who founded the faith of the Nubian Orthodox. Perform the final rites. My unwavering devotion towards God's representatives on earth is not gone unnoticed. The Archiepiscopos Heroes officially recognized my family's contributions and consecrated our names as eternal defenders of the Nubian Orthodox faith. This new church, virtue without fault, zealous respect. As I become an example of religious virtue beyond reproach. Yes. And now. Can possibly gain the Silk Road Merchant Trade without, when using Silk Road Merchant's trial option, without any experience getting successful deals. Or the alternative, go back to this and get more contribution. That domain limit thing. I think we can do without this, because all these things that it gives me are great. This one's kind of meh, as we're not really a thalassocratic country, as we're more of a land empire. That's what Nubia is going to become. Said, return towards this. This is slightly underwhelming with delegated authority for power of vassal opinion, which is a little nice. But more tax and levy contributions always good. But you just wait till we get to home estates, which will be a while to get there. It'll probably take a few decades to get there. And then we'll have domain limit +1, which would be great for me, economically and militarily. Especially that I'm over my domain limit. Why didn't I think of this? There are people of my house that have this, and I thought, hey, let's give it to them as well. Give them a temple. You get a temple. Yeah. Kaplapsha. That's also held by a person in the West. Well, it already has a city. That was built some time ago. Napata's got all. High trade power. Here we go. Wife's pregnant again. Let's do it. Then now the Empire of Nubia minus Nobadia. Over there. You own 70% of the Dajor counties. This was reduced due to a legitimacy level discount, and it'll cost you 800 gold, which we're just over that. You're one county above where you're supposed to get, and you'll be granted 1200 prestige, 150 legitimacy. Do it, mind you. When increasing your title. Your tier title to Kingdom or Empire, you will become uncrowned until you hold a coronation. Okay, you may want to hold on that a little. Save your money a little. Because who knows how much a coronation ceremony to become emperor is going to cost. So don't do anything. Save it. You can ask your head of faith for gold. Give me 200. I know I'm the one who appointed you there, so now you gotta give me money because this is part of a future coronation fund. Praise St. Matthew. So wait a few months. Then we'll do it. Okay? Especially there are people out there that are suffering from this terrible disease out there, which has caused 67 character casualty fatalities, 68. Normal now, flood, missing gold coins. Yes, I know there's a lot of ingratitude, but please, people, there will be a special day coming soon. Oh yeah, it does hurt. Oh, we're about to get Caravanserai. Now, let me remind you what that is, as it's got a long description, so let me take a drink for this. A caravanserai, which we have just gotten. A caravanserai was a roadside inn where travelers could rest and recover from the day's journey. Caravanserais supported the flow of commerce, information, and people across the network of trade routes covering Asia, North Africa, and Southeast Europe, most notably the Silk Road. Although many were located on the rural roads of the countryside, urban versions of the caravanserai were also historically common throughout the cities of the Islamic world. Urban caravanserais also became important centers of economic activities in cities across the regions of the Muslim world, often concentrated near the main souk areas, with many examples still standing in historic areas of Damascus, Aleppo, Cairo, Istanbul, and Fez. Ask you in a moment. In many parts of the Muslim world, caravanserais also provided revenues that were used to fund charitable, religious functions or buildings. These revenues and functions were managed through a waqf, a protected agreement, which gave certain buildings and revenue status of multi-main endowments guaranteed under Islamic law. So now we're going for monsoon trade routes. So that way we can get to more pirate contacts faster. Not to mention make sea travel less dangerous whenever I go to Constantinople or something. And I kind of don't really care about this. That's just skirmishes. And neither is this one. So after we get monsoon trade routes, as we know, maritime trade in the Indian Ocean is dictated by its monsoon winds. It is one thing to know these winds, but another to truly master them in order to traverse the Indian Ocean freely. So after this, get manorialism, as we're going to get bailiffs in a few years, so we can have more building slots. I think I figured out what to do next, as far as lifestyle is concerned. After we get household guard, switch to medicine. Get these. I want to be as healthy as possible, because I want to be the great builder of everything. Churches, military buildings, economic buildings, everything. I want it all. And speak of wanting all, get me the booty. 170 gold. Thank you very much. We need that for the Coronation fund. Let me see. Do not have the trade of gregarious. Alright, vassals may not like me much for this, but I'm willing to go for open diplomacy. The Crown actively engages with many foreign powers, forming alliances, trade agreements, and cultural exchanges across the known world. This boosts the realm's standing, though it opens the door to foreign influence and potential intrigue. So every independent ruler will respect me, as we've been open, and we've been doing open trade and all of that great stuff. But you still can't do primogeniture. You do not have the primogeniture innovation. That's late medieval. Well, now we got all the powerful vassals liking me. Which means you can do royal decrees now. So this is the huge one. Oh dear. Take your pick. I would like to have this, but bearing in mind there's a big penalty for this. If you screw it up, but the cult of fascination progress though. I always wanted to move forward towards innovation. Economically, we can manage, but this... But if we screw it up, oh, that'll hurt. Especially the legitimacy. I'm willing to risk it. Unified legal system. Whew. Any remaining vestiges of regional autonomy have been eliminated with the unified legal system. This success suppresses local courts, ensuring political unity and diminishing sources of potential conflict. Ensuring political unity throughout the realms. So, there you have it. +4 diplomacy and learning, even more multi-party, and even more cultural fascination progress, and more legitimacy to be gained. Now it will take 14 months instead of 18 months. Quiet. On. What the hell? Phone was making noises. I mean, yeah, we'll name it after Sophia. Sophia, my sister. Hope she gets better. Extra taxes it's soaking. So that means a night dub. More development here. Interesting you do that while there's a damn disease out there. I'm still saving the money for all this. Of course we'll do reduced costs for urbanization. Did you complete the unification of Poland over there? The star, Sirius, is high in the sky, and so is the dog days are upon us. The weather's unusually hot in Fitter. The parching heat is starting to drive me crazy. I'm afraid it will affect my health and inflict psoriasis on me. Samson, my physician, believes my concerns are valid, and fears I may be suffering from this condition. Children are most susceptible to the influence of Sirius in this sense, but even adults can be affected by psoriasis. And this year, the astronomers have consulted say that the effects of Sirius could be greater than usual. Anyways, Samson's recommended me some remedies to reduce the impact of the dog days on me. So, in order to prepare the remedies to counter its effects. Sirius is the brightest star in the sky, which have been observed by astronomers for millennia. Its helical rising when visible in the sky after sunrise, often occurred before the hottest days of summer. As such, some ancient cultures believed that Sirius, when arose, had negative effects, such as the effects include cirrhosis, a kind of sunstroke, or that dogs would behave abnormally. Hence the origin of the term dog days, referred to the hottest period of the year. I only gained 1 stress. Please, save your money for the coordination, because we might spend a lot. What's the matter with you? Nothing, just still. I'm waiting for someone to propose me trade one more time. Not Arizona Alliance. Here you go. That's a coordination that I'm not interested in being the. Here's the trade money. No fancy dreams. I will spare my gold because we're about to spend big here on 2 major things. And those are going to be the ones to close the episode. So we'll start next year. It's a wonder. At the beginning of me being a landed ruler, I was the Marquess. You got it. Then I became king. And now, next year, on 1033 AD, it was going to be the Emperor. Yes, sirree. Trade, trade, trade! 97 gold. Give me it! Oh, right, it's the vassals, not the, other locals. Yeah, I know, not everybody likes absolute crown authority. I've been changing some laws, but worry about that again later. But now, I believe the time is now. Nubia is now an empire. I have become Nubia's emperor, a great and terrible figure among orders of mankind. My will, shaping the destinies of thousands with every use. As a master of Makuria, I've earned my right to rule, but now the Makurian people and all those belong to the mighty banner of the Empire of Nubia, the Elodian peasants, the Makurian nobles. These Nubian subjects must recognize my imperial station. I must perform new, glorious rites of inauguration and justify my exalted crown. Another, greater coronation is in order. Nubia is now truly united. And look at me! And look at my empress! Ain't we grand? One moment, please. I'd like to have a tattoo. Nubian Orthodox tattoos, just to give me a small health boost. And in addition, you know what? Just go for medicine focus already. I've not been paying attention to my health lately. So now I'm prioritizing health. And there's got to be more ways to get learning faster. Makes me want to go out and travel, but no. No. It's time for another coronation ceremony. You used to do this, but now it's anointment. Prove your legitimacy beyond doubt. Gain favor, piety, sells vassals. Swear an oath and pledge the course of your reign, though I may not have that long to live. Gain an opinion of vassals, another this must be held in the holy side of your faith. It's going to be Dongola, not here. Dongola, the old traditional coronation location since the days of yore. Has not approved and seekers approval with the requested anointment interaction. He will accept, of course. We'll hear back from him in a moment. Let time take long. I consider your request and I decided you are worthy of my blessing, the most sacred mark of God's favor for the faithful. I wait for my arrival session with bated breath. After all, I'm the one who put you in there. Yes. Can have the private army with you. Anything else? Travel log for a bit more prestige gain. Of course the head of faith will be there. He's the one that's going to put the damn crown on your head. Aksum will be there. It's the only Nagazia Tigray will be there. And a few other neighboring realms. Egypt won't be there. One second. Talk about your vassals, subjects. You have more courtlies. There's some glory hounds that do not like you as much. Minorities. So if I were you, I'd go for, for this. Oh, and for future reference. Put that on as a reminder. Courtly and minority vassals, yes. Impress attendees. You shall be the very image of the sovereign. Early legitimacy, cultural acceptance, and magnificence. That's going to be my attempt. Ready? Let's go. This is how we're going to close this episode. Holy visit. Visit of the faith leader due to the arrival. Bells ring from every church and people cheer in the streets of Dongola as the banners of the Episcopals appear on the horizon. Duke Jordanis and the Kahanat Ioskoros are the first to meet the Nubian Orthodox delegation. Only enter Dongola after a brief exchange. The faithful flocks to see the Episcopos Bureau, and every merchant and beggar in the city follows, as well as simply hoping to witness his great import and prestige. Very and I are great friends, and this coronation will no doubt be a joyous occasion for us both. So, his approval will improve your legitimacy for the Nubian Orthodox faith. Magnificence increases slightly. Legitimacy, piety. Yeah. On my way there. This will hasten our journey indeed. Come on. I have finally arrived at Dongola for the coronation. The air buzzes of anticipation. As it dawns on me now, finally to be crowned Emperor of Nubia. While the coronation should be a joyous day for all, I must be careful. The days ahead may prove dangerous. Soon my reign begins. Magnificence has been damaged by the factions opposing me. We shall see who they are. It'll take months. And of course, accept trade offers from anyone. Because after the coronation ceremony, in the next episode, construction time. I patiently wait on my throne for arrival of the Duchess, who was soon announced to us before. She kneels with deference over nothing but her own faith, so with the vassal of the Empire. As the Duchess stands, she stumbles awkwardly, the court gasps in unison, she falls, and the sprawl at my feet, cheeks flushed with embarrassment. Your oaths are all that matters. We'll miss you. When are you turning 16? Next month. When you turn, I'm going to designate you heir. After the coronation, of course. And next episode and all that. It's an interesting looking crown, isn't it? Guests have come from near, from far, and out of loyalty or curiosity, the crowd swells with faces marked by expectation, calculation, and in some cases the faintest warmth. I raise my voice just enough to settle attendees and walk into my coronation. Welcome, one and all. I like how the Pedro, the blind, my friend, is guided by his horse as a way to get him around. We got major detractors and major supporters here. I noticed Masfan Zanzalyum casting for the glances in my direction. He arranges his shirt and finally approaches me with respectful bow. He starts, Dearest Emperor, Azagals, I wish to support you now in the days to come. The crown will soon rest on your head, but our cousin will rest in your heart. I will speak the language of your hearts. Because you may be of a different culture, but perhaps we can benefit from one another. My lord, Count Kura greets you with obsequious bow. It fills me with joy to see the great honor you bring to House Sai. I offer you my yielding loyalty and support. The alliance between us would be the greatest of honors. From Kalapsha. All the petitioning gifts. You don't want to make them mad as they already have. It's my pleasure. Christophoros, you are an exalted diplomat. He also has a cat-like demeanor. He's aloof and independent, often observing the court from a distance, of a calculated, self-serving approach. They maintain an air of mystery, keeping their true intentions hidden and exhibiting a sense of detachment from courtly affairs. You may be shy, but you are calm and diligent. Observe, my boy. How can we be expected to smile, growls my vassal, Duke Mena of Awa, my major supporter. Swish tea, praise peace, and hope for the future of the realm. He glares at the dubious nest of court-founding nobles, while the vermin eyes evilly plot your downfall, my emperor. He spits. Give me leave to sound my war horn. I'll thrash Duchess of Kordofan. Make no mistake. You want to start a war against her? You want to be the Marquess? I mean, do you even have the strength to take him on? That's the question. Alright, she is a bit of an unruly vassal. But she is weak. So, you have my blessing. You'll start a war against her, and you will be, Marquez. 1 second. Yes, you grant you military rights, but I have not made you, you know, but I granted you military rights, so yes, it will hurt me a little on men and arms recruitment costs, but there are other laws for that could supersede that. So go ahead, crush them. My lord, Count Gabriel greets me with his response. Fill me to join you, bring honor to outside. Stand here today to witness your magnificence. It would bring us great honor if you could say a few words on our behalf. Ah, kidding. Of course, of course. The flames on the fireplace dance, what looks like a round dance. The door to my chambers opens abruptly as I hear a familiar voice calling my name. Dear husband, echoed that voice then calm. I know the day is near where you will look at your reflection on the cold metal and wonder if you're doing the right thing. Let it be known, let it be screamed from every corner of this keep, and I will stand by your side. To produce a small gift from a pouch. I have commissioned this for you. The Cordofani Brook. It's not that much. But given that we've been together forever, so I'll say that. Thank you. You'll be my soulmate. In the shadows of Dongola, vipers slither about. Mr. Servants and Courtiers prepared the coronation. Mayor Astigated whispers to a circle of recently arrived guests. They quiet immediately when I approach. My liege, he starts. I apologize, you're just speaking about matters of personal nature. Wait a minute. I shall get the truth from him yet. He was planning a pleasant gift. Okay. Remember, we have a spy network law around here. How could we be expected to smile? Girls in the vassal could record as a swish tea, priest pays, open the region around, the Zubi's nest of Dongolese nobles. While the vermin and I plot your downfall, my emperor, every sound of my war I'll crush. Debutantes and Dongola, make no mistake. Come, come, such passion belongs to the dining table. There's no need for you for that. That's uncalled for. Plus, you'll never conquer Dongola like that. Don't you know how fortified it is between you and him? Also, got this innovation now. So, in 3 years' time, we'll get this. Go for manorialism. We'll get it in 8 years' time. All preparations are complete. The great ceremony assembly now awaits Dongola's High Church. The cheers and exaltation of my procession parts the city's thronging crowd. My finest knights ride before me, my imperial household behind. Horns ring out, banners stream forth in bold Nubian colors. Peasants praise the emperor, and women weep in ecstasy at this glorious parade. I am the very image of a great emperor. It's due to me having the inspector trait. So, all the five wonders of coordination here in Dongola. This modifier is removed if you lose Dongola. Or if Dongola is stolen while this modifier exists, it will gain the negative modifier. Well, I'm going to be the one to take it. It's going to be mine. Although you've upped the fort level a bit just for being there. It's going to be the future capital. Past the castle gates, my imperial procession wends its way to a holy altar and waiting officials. The nobility, the clergy, I solemnly take up our places amidst the soul-stirring rise and fall of sacred prayers. Now to write the bishop's petition, while the archiepiscopos watches keenly on. I am revered by these intercessors for the divine. And it is with worshipful reverence that they beseech. Great Emperor, will you safeguard the faithful, preserve the rights of God's clergy? I shall defend Christ's holy church. Piety approved by chaplain, head of faith's opinion, pious traits, double devotion. The vassals of Nubia have come forth their allegiance, at the one another raising open-palmed hands, and one after another bending to give kisses of fealty. I have yet to even properly become emperor, but there is devotion in these supplications to move any heart. Great voices of the realm quiver with feeling, and their faces glow with hope. These are my vassals, bulwarks of my rule. You're near death. Infirm melancholic ill. Well, she is my supporter and my friend. Senior figures among Dongola's peasants are next to show forward. Givers of the common assent of my great power and authority, the bishop warns these stooped elders and asks if they will accept me as rightful emperor. As they voice the words, another sound meets my ears. Beyond the church, the waiting crowds cry out of joyful anticipation. Hundreds of people call my name again and again. Lazarus, Lazarus, Lazarus of Nubia. I am honored. Yes. Carry forth solemnly the icons of Nubian rule, and our crowns on the bear are steeped in prayerful blessings. The priests prepare my finery and ritual motions in the invocation of St. Peter, the key bearer of the heavenly kingdom. It is my beloved Rita's crown to be endowed forever to Nubia, or instead to the crown of Compatibility of Mercuria. It is Rita's crown. That matters more. Oh, Rita's crown, oh, glory of glories. Rita's crown is the crown of Nubia, because of the men-at-arms maintenance benefits. The final sacral moment draws near. But first, the ordaining with holy oil, the mark of the episcopal spirit's acceptance, not only myself as ruler of Nubia, but as among the high members of Christ's elect. My episcopus, very with fatherly pride, marks me with pungent golden oil on my outstretched hands, my head, my breast, my shoulders, the bends of my arms. This ornament is given unto prophets, priests, and monarchs. My skin shines with very approval of God. By the Father's hand, I know God's favor. I must express my gratitude to the prelate, because I'm humble. Forth come the imperial symbols. The gleaming scimitar girded at my hip, the Debutantes' jewels and the glorious mantles are placed upon me. As one, best of the empire, lords and bishops and knights of the land, crowd the final prayers, and at last, God, behold our beloved emperor. Graced by the imperial treasures, I kneel, just this one, final time, for the Emperor of Nubia, the emperor I'm about to truly become. He bows only to God. The crown is placed on top of my brow. And so the Nubian coronation crown is set to rest. Anointed sovereign. With the rights of the emperor's throne room complete, the imperial consort is now properly instated as empress. My wife conducts the rituals of her characteristic sincerity. Her Nuba upbringing did little to prepare her to Nubian rites amidst the Nubian Orthodox prayers. She recites Sudanic oaths from memory of her sounds alone. Before long, with great ceremony, Al-Qadat's crown is laid on her head for the first time. The Emperor of Nubia proclaims their empress. Oh yeah, I forgot, you're Coptic the whole time. So she's Nubian Orthodox now, yes? Can't Al-Qadat see that? With Eversko's own holy hand, the ceremony is arguably recognized her as one of the Nubian Orthodox faithful. My wife should embrace her conversion. 100% chance that she will win over her faith and be Nubian Orthodox. as she shall be. The assembly watch me, some with hope, some with doubt, all waiting for me to speak of my reign. I swear to the future. I can hear the questions they don't speak. Will I be just? Will I be fair? How will I govern as the first emperor of these lands? I do not stand here as emperor to echo their expectations. I gotta choose my own path and a way forward for the empire. Whatever Nubia becomes, whatever I become, begins at this very moment. I've already expanded, so there's no need for that. County with 30 development higher. We have education trait, you do have it. War to be university, okay. Sacred gates. Construct or upgrade 8 buildings. Yes! Shape the realm. I'm going for that. Swear an oath to rebuild the realm. Construct or upgrade at least 8 buildings. I'm an architect. Let's do it. The ceremony has passed. The crown rests where it was meant to. I rise once more, not to command, but to offer what comes next. My friends, the rites are complete. Let the tables be filled. Let the cups be raised. Let this hall remember joy as well as duty. There is a murmur of approval, perhaps something close to warmth for now. At least everyone has something in front of them other than me. With that aside, it is time to celebrate. It is such joy to see my son and heir Basil. Once again we eat, sing, drink and sing together as no time's passed since we parted last. We could have been dying in a barn and this would still be one of the greatest feasts I've ever been to. Where would life be without him? Huge health boost. Keep me alive. The nobility begin a carefully coordinated choreographed round dance. Very symbolic props. They act out as saints of my dynasty's rise, triumphs, and aspirations. All eyes turn toward the central figure of the spectacle. My niece, Maria Isasico, takes the role of the lauded ancestor, drawn applause with impassioned presentation of my lineage's might. The message is clear. My right to rule is a legacy carried with pride. I applaud that performance of courtly grace. Please, my vassals. My brother and once rival, Raphael. Old Raphael walks up to my table with 2 cups in hand, smiling serenely before he humbly drops down to an empty chair beside me. Before long, we're both deep in a conversation, recounting our past feuds. You're Coptic, right? It is truly Christian to turn the other cheek, right? I mean, we say this because we consider forgiving a trait when virtuous, but sinful, vengeful. Yes. I've learned to forgive you. Sultan Ibram. Egypt and I are friends. Egypt and Nubia together. The hall falls silent. My guests wait with bated breath for me to speak. I'll lower my goblet and let my gaze drift to my worthless acquaintance, Sabagadas. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. My equally wary lumbering wife, Akada. Do I lavish him in honey praise that plays in our part, or propose a poisoned toast that reminds him of exactly who holds the power here? Hear my words, for they are true. I managed to win him over. What stars ordinary feast came in? Exceptional with the presence of the Nubians. We spoke only about men of all sorts. Seems we had a lot in common and had such a good time with them. We might become friends in the future. I worked tirelessly to promote the glory, the foster of the grandest of my coronation. The guests are flushed with the inspiration of what they have witnessed here, radiating admiration. It was fitting for the start of my reign as emperor. From the beginning till the end, I spared no effort to impress all my attendees, friend or foe alike, with My fair-handed presence might have focused the success of this great gathering, but what was it all for? The faith of my supporters. 10%. The sunshine roasted duck is delightful, but the stories we tell are even better. My court musician today and my son vows to spend hours trading tales of our greatest hunts. Enough of this. You are now crowned. You can call a hunt after our feast. We shall make it special for our new emperor. Aye, let's hunt for the emperor. The emperor's hunt. Yes, the emperor's hunt. You shall ensure all the Nubia hears it. My magnificent coronation finished, guests depart all deeply moved by the ceremonies. 1500 prestige. Max legitimacy. My reign begins. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go home and put an end to it. We hope you people have enjoyed this episode, because that was a long one. And the Emperor's reign will truly begin in the next episode, for he will be around a while longer, and he's got buildings to build and more. So we'll see you in the next episode, but until then, so long for now.